Ovilasari. I'm so excited to deliver the topics today. Though I know it's going to be a monologue, but I hope that later on we can share our perspectives together because I believe by sharing multiple perspectives, it can lead us to the best ideas so that we can find the root of the problem and can discover the solution for the problem. And in today's video, the topic or the motion that I'm going to deliver right now is really intriguing. It's about the Saipul Jamil's case, a dangdut singer and an actor who just got released from the prison because of a child molestation and bribery case. When he just got released from the prison, many people were proudly, but for me it disgustingly, paraded him like a champion who just got a gold medal from the Olympic. Cancel culture is the phenomenon of promoting canceling people, brands, even TV shows and films due to the action that can be considered as offensive and problematic based on remarks, ideologies, and people's belief in general. And this phenomenon is not something new in a society. In recent years, the phenomenon of cancel culture against public figures is rising. Since netizens have been flocking out to cancel a veteran Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein after the case of sexual harassment, a number of figures have also to experience something for different reasons. For instance, the author of Harry Potter novel, J.K. Rowling, was cancelled because of her comments were deemed transphobic. As a result, instead of a damaged reputation, their work contracts are often floated. In Indonesia, a similar phenomenon is began to appear. The presence of social media helps to spread the practice of cancel culture. The accident that happened 5 years ago can go slowly disappear into time without anyone noticing it. We may also assume that the accident that happened 5 years ago is no longer relevant if we talk right now. It makes us think that due to the time that considered happened for a long time ago, the incident that happened for a long time ago, it makes us think that, yep, case closed. What will you tell about it? The theme of cancel culture in Indonesia is being loud again after Saipul Jamil, or popularly known as Bang Ipul, was accused of sexual harassment and obscenity case that occurred in 2016. In Malta, he was reported to have what is called committed sexual abuse by TS, the victim. In the North Jakarta prosecutor office, it was clearly stated that he was declared as a suspect, but he and his legal team was trying to apply for a suspension of detention after the obscenity case file has reached the prosecutor office. However, the chief lawyer, Eva Sudewi, decided to send Saipul Jamil to 3 years in prison. Saipul Jamil received a lighter sentence than the prosecutor's demand, which was 7 years in prison. Saipul Jamil release from prison made netizens react strongly. It's not about the duration of the prison, it's not about that he already finished the punishment, though I do really hope that it should be a longer. 3 years wasn't enough, since for me, rape is a traumatic experience that can cause the victim have to deal with traumatic feeling for years. It can be easily erased from the memory. A traumatic experience can cause a drastic changes in someone's life. It is including the changes of perception of life, behavior, and emotional well-being. What make it worse and really make me vague is when he was just get released from the prison. He has been receiving calls from various TV stations while his family and friends welcoming his return like a gladiator who was returned from the war. I mean, he is a pedophile who just came out from the prison, not after coming back from the war, not after defending our country, not after making achievement that we should be appreciated. How come you're not positioning yourself if you are a victim? Why you don't feel sorry about the victim? Where is your empathy? You don't feel sorry about the victim, but you do feel sorry about the perpetrator. Now, I would like you to imagine, though I do really hope that there is no more case about this top right here. I would like you to imagine, for a while, if you are a victim, when you are watching TV and then suddenly you see someone who sexually abuse you, it was proven, and then getting treated like a grand king, how's your feeling? Did you happy to see that? The memory of being raped brings back the memory that you do really want to forget it, but you can't. It took a lot of process and time to heal it. Mass media plays an important role in educating the public and providing support to the victim of violence. Mass media should be able to read fact-based information, deconstructing the myths, understanding complex social issues, and publicizing the results to help the victim, not glorifying a rapist, not glorifying a pedophile. Thus, in today's motion, I would like to declare myself that I strongly agree that Saipul Jamil is totally cancelled. He should be banned on TV. It's time for Indonesians to move forward and to be more selective in choosing what kind of people that will go to the industry of entertainment. A sexual assaulter, a rapist, a pedophile like Saipul Jamil doesn't deserve a stage anymore. Well, I know it's cruel. It really does with the time between cancelling a rapist and cancelling a person to earn a living. But it seems that the mass media in Indonesia doesn't really care about that. Business is a business. If you're seeking moral value, better if you watch salmon. People who say that Saipul Jamil served his time and therefore should be forgiven, it's silly. I'm sorry to say this, but it's kind of stupid. Where's your logic? First, people need to realize and understand that Saipul Jamil is a pedophile. He is not a thief who's stealing myths because of his children's needs. Don't normalize this just because he is a famous person. Instead of shut his career down, how come you treat this kind of person to get more famous and got invited to some talk shows? Being a victim of sexual harassment is not a joke, and if you think this is a joke, then you are qualified as a clown. How come he can go back to his career, his previous careers as a dangdut singer, and then get paid a million of rupees in one show? Life normally and happily surrounded by family, friends, even fans who always defending him and supporting him, while his victims is possibly traumatized for his life. Aren't you at least feel scared of letting a pedophile back in society? Is it okay of you to work alongside someone who could do something so cruel, so disgusting to underage people? Public and media actions that condemn the rapists are actually sick. It is a huge humiliation to the victim, a grave insult to the victim. Wounds to the heart broken can be healed as the time goes by. We can make a deal with the situation, but not for the case of sexual violence, the trauma of sexual violence. In 2016, after becoming the victim of Saipul Jamil, the victim didn't dare to leave his house. He was in Viria and didn't want to meet people around him. He also delirious and shouted every morning. In his confession, he always felt that he heard Saipul Jamil's voice, which woke him up in the morning and then asked him to massage him and then to touch his vital area. Could you imagine that he was a third grade of high school and have to suffer, have to deal with that kind of trauma? Well, okay, Saipul Jamil served his time. He got arrested for what he did in the past. But now it's time for social punishment. Let society treat him as a trash because he is. It is heinous crime. There's no empty room for sympathy or empathy. Cancel culture is like a red alarm. It's a reminder for us that we won't normalize any kind of sexual violence. This is not only applied for a public figure that got the name on the stage, but it also applied for everyone. This is also a form of our appreciation to the victim, that we do believe them, we are here to support them, and we also sending our sympathy and empathy that the victim must really through a hard time, that have experienced the deep trauma of their lives. Thus, I would like to emphasize one more time that I strongly agree that cancel culture should be applied in the Saipul Jamil's case. Stop glorifying him because it really is disgusting. And if I could speak from the victim's point of view, seriously, there's nothing more sickening than seeing a people or person who sexually abuse you on TV and getting jailed by hundreds of people. If you ever feel bad about yourself, just simply remember that there are bunch of silly people out there who are supporting Saiful Jamil. My last statement is cancel sexual assaulter and groomer. Before it comes to an end, I also would like to emphasize that I'm open to be corrected. So if there are some points that I delivered wrong because of lack in research, please let me know and feel free to correct me. Keep in mind that this is not a lecturing session, this is just me coming here to share my thoughts with you. And I also would like to say to the victim of any kind of sexual violence that I feel really sorry about it and you don't deserve it. So yeah, I think that's all this video is about. Thank you so much for watching and goodbye.